Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. We are doing a speed review today of a ton of products. I don't know if I've ever had this many in one of these videos, so I'm not gonna go on too long in this intro. This is basically an update video on things that I have tried and maybe not really mentioned or talked a lot about in some of my other videos over the last 6 months or so. I'm gonna try and be very quick and keep this video under 25 minutes. That is my goal. So we had better jump in. Before we do though, I wanna wish you a special welcome if you are new here. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also make sure your notification bell is turned on. With that out of the way, let's get right to it. Let's start off with a couple of primers. I have kind of talked about these in a few videos, but my thoughts have sort of been evolving, especially around this primer right here, the Maybelline Grippy, and then I have my Wet n Wild Clingy primer, which you guys know I've been raving about for the last, I don't know, it's probably been about 3 months now. I really like these both. I initially liked this one quite a bit more, something about the tackiness of this one and kind of its thickness going on. After I got used to it, I really just enjoyed, but this one's slowly been climbing up the list. Now, if you thought this one was too sticky and you want something a little more liquidy and serum-like, you might like this one quite a bit better. As far as how they perform under a foundation, I would say they perform about the same. I actually really like them both. I have one concealer to update you guys on. It's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. I tried this out about 4 years ago when it was initially released from ColourPop. I don't know, maybe it was more than 4 years. Then I ran out and I recently repurchased this in a ColourPop order and I really like this. It's kind of just a basic concealer, but it's affordable, it performs well. The one that I went with this time is Light 50W, which is a great concealer for the perimeter of my face in the summertime. It's probably gonna be a little too dark for me in the winter time, but right now it works really well. Okay, let's go through a couple of brow products. First, I have my Lift and Snatch here. This has been a favorite of mine for the last couple of months, but I've discovered something about not just this pen, but just brow pens in general that's been a bit of a challenge for me. So I'll be going along just fine with them, and then they start to get inconsistent in how they apply ink to your brows. So there are times that I will use this that the brush for whatever reason gets very wet and inky, and then I have to kind of clean things up. I wish there was a way to make the ink in these more consistent. I think it's just the challenge of working with a brow pen. I've found this with other pens as well. It's not just this one. Overall, I still like it. I am wearing this one, which is in the shade Ash Brown, in my brows today. And today I actually think it worked pretty well for me. But it's just a challenge that I've been noticing the more that I have been using this. Maybe because as it's running out, I have to like shake it to get the product to come out, and then that causes problems. 2 brow gels. I've talked about the Browie Wowie brow gel. I now also have the Super Fix brow gel from Revolution. These are about the same. Honestly, I'd probably just go with the Browie Wowie one if you can find this one because it's $1.98. You cannot beat that. This one I think is closer to $7 or $8 at the drugstore. Both of them are good if you like a clear brow gel that's not overly stiff. I'm actually wearing this one in my brows today. It's a good one. Pretty simple and basic, but a good stronghold from both of these. Let's go through some mascaras. So I have this Physicians Formula Butter Mascara. This is a brown mascara. It's okay. I don't know why I don't love this mascara. I do have another brown mascara that I'm coming to love, and it's actually not because of the brown shade. If I ever had to pick or buy them, these were both sent to me. By the way, I would just go with the black mascara. This is from Persona. This is their new tubing mascara. This one's growing on me. It is not my most watery eye resistant or long wearing mascaras, but it's very gentle on your lashes. If you find that waterproof or very budge proof, like water resistant mascaras are a little bit harsh on your lashes, I think you'll really like this one because it's very soft, it's very gentle, it removes very easily. And as long as my eyes aren't overly watery, like it can hold up to a little bit of watering. It doesn't tend to flake and smudge on me with just average everyday wear. I am wearing the brown one on my lashes today. It's very pretty. Honestly, I like the black one a little bit better and I can't find it. I think it's hiding in a pocket or a bag somewhere. I've been using that one quite a bit and I think I took it in my car. It could be in my purse. I need to go search for it. I did a level 1 search this morning, but we need to like up the level. I also wanted to give an update on the Wrap Lash. I've talked about this one recently as well. Now this one is very budge proof. This thing, if you have very watery eyes, it is going to hold up very, very well. It is a little bit harsh on your lashes though. It kind of hardens, you can feel it on your lashes. It feels almost like a waterproof mascara feels. It's also a little bit difficult to remove. You need to have very warm water, a good amount of soap. Actually, I haven't tried to remove this one with a melt. I'll have to try that and get back to you. I might have to come back and do a second update on this one. If you are just about something that's gonna hold up to some very watery eyes, this one holds up probably amongst the best of the tubing or washable mascaras that I've tried in the last year. Last mascara update is from Wet n Wild. This is the Big Papa mascara. Honestly, I've tried this a few times. I just can't get past this giant brush that's as big as my nose. It is so messy to apply this mascara because the brush is just so ridiculously large. I don't quite understand why they needed to have a brush this large. It's just every time I've applied this, it just makes such a big mess that I can't even remember how it wore throughout the day because I'm still thinking about how troublesome this was to put on. So I would say for me, not worth the trouble. Talk about some foundations. I've got two. First off, the Lawless Forget the Filler foundation. I tried this, I want to say in February or March. I didn't love it initially, partly because I picked the wrong shade. I went with the shade 7L, which was way too dark for me in the wintertime. However, I am probably at the tannest that I've been in a couple of years now. I know the lighting really washes me out, you wouldn't know it. But the shade's actually working really well for me right now. I still think as far as the formula of this goes, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite. I don't know that it sits on my skin as effortlessly and beautifully as some other foundations that I really love. I feel like I noticed a little bit more like breaking up or like pore showing in the center of my face with this one. I know some people really love it. I kind of just feel so-so about it. I don't like the formula enough to go back and get the shade right. So I guess I would kind of give this one just like a B minus. And then I have an update on my Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Foundation Stick. Now this has pretty serious coverage. If you're looking at this as being something that's more of just like a natural light coverage kind of product, this gives pretty serious coverage. Now, I don't really like this formula of, this style of foundation stick, the stick form, that's what I meant, as my one and only all over foundation, because I have so many spots I need evening out. I need to put my foundation everywhere, and a liquid is the best way to do that. But what I do like this for is almost as a bonus foundation or a bonus layer of coverage, kind of in the way that you would just use a concealer on certain areas of my face. So particularly in the summertime, I start to get some of my areas of discoloration and like sunspots that are just like around here, above my lip, kind of like in this area right here. If I just go on after I put my foundation on and just draw in like those three areas and then blend that out, it gives me just a little bit more coverage without putting an extra layer all over my face. It's very quick and easy to apply for that. So that's how I like to use it. I don't know that I would go back and like repurchase this, but I have found that to be a helpful way of almost applying concealer on areas of my face when I'm in more of a hurry. One more foundation update. This is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is the old version that I picked up at Marshall's. I need to stop buying makeup at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. I don't love this. There's just not enough coverage in this for me to even consider getting the new version. I think even at Marshall's, I still paid like $16 for this. So part of me is like, man, if I could get those $16 back, I definitely would. It has SPF 20, which is not enough SPF for me to use just as an SPF either. I know some people love this. Maybe if I was in my 20s, I might love a product like this when I didn't need a lot of coverage, but yeah, it's just not doing it for me coverage wise. Okay, we have a lot of blushes to get into, a lot of blushes to get into. Let's start with this one, which is kind of like a blush bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go stick. I'm so conflicted about this stick because I love the bronzer. I don't love the blush side. And I don't really want to pick up another one because I might not love the bronzer in that one, even though I might like the blush in that particular version. There are quite a few shade options for this one. I have the Beachy Pink version, which I think is the first or second lightest. Quickly, let me just swatch this. I am wearing this bronzer on my cheeks today. And you guys, this bronzer shade is so perfect. The formula is so perfect. I absolutely love it. And then this is the blush shade, which is far too milky and cool tone pink for my skin tone. I would say a blush shade like this is way more suitable for those that have very, very fair skin and like that very cool tone pink color on their cheeks. It just doesn't really work for me, which is such a bummer because this thing was pretty pricey. So every time I use this, as much as I love the bronzer, I also am like equally annoyed that I don't love the blush. I don't know, did anyone else get annoyed about stuff like that? This product is one of the reasons I keep hesitating on picking up the Dibs Duo, which I feel like has been raved about for a while that I've been holding off on. I just hate when I buy a product, especially if it's more expensive or more high-end, and I don't end up loving all the shades in it. So I don't know, if I could go back, I probably would pass on this one even though I love the bronzer so much. I do have an update on the Revolution Jelly Blush. I feel like I liked these a lot better than some other people did. I think they were initially a pretty good dupe for the Milk Makeup Jelly Tints, which you guys know that I absolutely love. This one I have is in the shade Peach. However, Even though I've kept the bonus lid on top of this thing, it has started to dry out, and it started to dry out pretty quickly. So I don't know if you guys can see how small it is now at the top. This is so weird. These things are like, I don't know, do you guys remember the movie Flubber? So the fact that this has dried out a little bit makes it a little more challenging to use. It's a little harder to get some of the, it's basically like an ink that you're pulling out of whatever this jelly form is. But I love the longevity of this. You can still get some color out of it. This one is a very pretty, like a warm peach shade. It's just gonna take, oh yeah, that looks really gross. It's gonna take some time to get some color out of this one. So just be aware of that if you go into these ones thinking they're going to be a dupe for the Milk makeup. They might be for a couple of months, but after that, maybe not so much. Speaking of the Milk makeup jelly tints, I have all of the shades right here that I've officially been trying out for a while. And you know what? I'm gonna say what I said the first time I tried these out. If I had to pick 2 shades, it still would be the first 2 shades that I picked, which are these 2 shades right here, Splash and Chill. Basically, you have a kind of mauvey cooler toned pink and then a warmer pink, almost like a peachy pink, corally sort of pink. So you have your warm and your cool tone. These other shades are just different variations of that, which I just don't feel like you need them all. I would just pick, honestly, these 2 will get you through whatever look you're trying to do. I know they have since come out with 1 or 2 more new shades. I haven't tried those ones out yet, but I still would say this, I just don't think this is one of those products that you need to like collect all the shades. Next up, I have my Persona Dream Stick blush in the shade Guava. I don't know that I have talked much about this here on my channel. I love these Dream Stick blushes. They are very creamy, very pigmented. You do not need a lot of these. This might be one of my favorite shades that they've come out with. It's a very peachy pink. It's nice and warm. This is kind of like the perfect shade for spring, summer, and fall. It's beautiful. It blends easily. It gives you a good bit of color, but it goes on very quick. So you're not gonna have to like agitate the coverage underneath by over blending. These are so good. I feel like they're kind of, I don't know if underrated. I think a lot of people like these, but I definitely don't talk about them on my channel or use them as much as I do in everyday life. This is a lot of blushes. We're still not done. We're about halfway done with blushes. I clearly have a problem. As far as powder blushes go, this is the Pretty Smart powder blush in the shade Goddess. You guys, this Pretty Smart brand in general, which I know I've said this before, but don't overlook this. I love their bronzer. I love their highlighter. I'm actually wearing their powder highlighter on my cheeks today. They're so good, super affordable. This is a really good powder blush formula. Great shade. This is the perfect fall shade. I can't wait to reach for this in the fall. Really good quality for a drugstore blush. Got my blush mallows right here. These are still relatively new to me, but I have to say I'm not like loving these. I don't know. Maybe it's because the shades are so bold. So I have the shade Tutti Fluffy, which is the worst name ever. Honestly, it like hurts my brain to say that. And then I have the shade Sweet and Chic. Honestly, I don't know what it is about these. I don't know if it's because the shades are a little bit just too bold for me, or if it's the formula, which is kind of fun and different. I don't love them. I kind of wish that I did. I feel like I should. They're not bad. I just don't know that I would repurchase these. I'd probably get my $5 back if I could. And I would say the same thing about the LA Girl on Cloud 9 bouncy blush and bronzer duo. Kind of a similar formula with these actually. Now this one in particular, initially I did mention I didn't like the bronzer shade. It's really more of a contour. It's very, very cool, quite ashy. Again, this is just one of those situations where I'm not gonna dip into this just for the blush when there's a bronzer that I don't like on the other side. So sorry guys, we're dealing with some really finicky lighting outside today. So for that reason alone, I would not go back and repurchase these. Then I have here my Tower 28 Get Set blush in Long Beach Iced Tea. I wish I liked these. I feel like everyone likes these blushes. Number one, I can't ever open these. Now that I have the builder gel nails that your nail tip is very fat, there's actually quite a few of my products I struggle to open. This shade is kind of just like blah. I don't know. Maybe if I was more fair, like maybe, although I think I tried these out in the wintertime. I didn't really like them then either. It's almost like a grayish, it has almost like a grayish tone to it. Did you guys see that? I don't know. I just don't like it. It almost behaves on my cheeks like a pink toned contour. I'm sure I just went with a shade that I don't like, but because I didn't like the shade, I don't really want to go back and pick another one. I know some people love these. The packaging is really cute, but I just don't think I don't need more blushes. If you don't wow me on first try, you're not getting a second chance. As for this right here, I think I may have mentioned this in a favorites video. This is the Sephora Blush palette. This one I can't remember the name of it. I don't see the name on the back. It could have been on the sticker that I peeled off. I love this. The more I use it, the more I absolutely love this. Now, if you wanted to try the Patrick Ta ones, the cream and powder blush duos, but you thought they were way too pricey, because they're pricey. Give this one a try. This one in particular, the more I use this shade, the more I love it. I'm actually wearing this on my cheeks today. I have the Physicians Formula bronzer on, which is a little bit more cool toned, and then this very beautiful, warm, it's such a pretty like coral that just blends like a dream. Sorry, I still have like fragments of that Revolution Jelly Blush on the back of my hand. It's stunning. I think my cheeks look so pretty today. It's just such a pretty pop of color. I also like the blushes that you get with this one as well. I'm very curious to go back and get another one of these. I know I've been saying that for a few months. Sometimes these kind of things take me a while. Highly recommend this one if you like that warm kind of corally blush color. It's so good. The packaging's really good and like sturdy, high-end feeling. I'm not always a big fan of the Sephora brand or Sephora collection products, but this is probably the most impressive one that I've tried over the last many years. We're almost done. This is the last blush product I think I have, and that is my NYX Buttermelt blushes. You guys, I have so many of these. I have 6 to be exact. I like them all. Some of them are a little bit too pigmented for me, where I have to be very careful when I use them. So if I had to pick just 2 favorite shades, it would have to be these 2 right here. We've got Getting Butta, which is just a nice, it's kind of a cool pink, but on the cheeks, this one doesn't like, I don't know, it almost comes up more of a mauve once you blend it into your cheeks. It's very pretty if you like more of a cool pink. And then this shade right here, which is Feeling Butta, it looks crazy in the pan. This is a shimmering terracotta. By the way, both of these shades have a bit of shimmer in them. This one has quite a bit more shimmer than the one that I just swatched, but this shade, you guys, is beautiful. It's such a good like summer and fall shade. It's like almost like a bronzer topper, has a little bit more rose in it, a little bit of sheen, but it kind of gives you that like sunburn kind of bronzed effect that's just so lovely. I love it. I have just a few eyeshadow palettes to update you guys on. First off, the Milani Gilded Mini. I don't know why, ever since Milani got rid of those, remember the gold palettes from like 6 or 7 years ago? I think there were 9 shades inside them, maybe 16. They were all really amazing. Ever since those went away, I have not been as impressed with Milani's eyeshadows since. It's not that they're not good quality. These are good quality matte shades. They're just a little bit boring, which is fine. I mean, if you're into mattes and basics, you probably will really love this palette, but I don't know. I've got other mattes that I like just a little bit more. This is just not the one that I reached for first. I have mentioned this is a good alternative to the Natasha Denona Mini Sculpt, which I do really love. They're not dupes for each other. I still think the Mini Sculpt is just a bit more pigmented, a bit better, but if you don't want to spend $27 on 5 shades, this is a good alternative. And then I have the Peach Out palette from ColourPop. Now, I was about to come into this video and say, I barely reached for this one, and there's 1 or 2 things about it that I don't love, but I did use it on my eyes today with the exception of the inner corner, which is one of the things I don't love, and it did create a very beautiful look. So if you are into these peachy tones, it's a very pretty palette. The mattes inside here are outstanding. This shimmer in the middle, which is this like golden peach color, which is what I have on the center of the lid, is stunning. I really don't like this lid shimmer that they included though, because it's very duochromed. Not a fan anymore of the duochromes on the inner part of my lid. Now that I'm near 45, I just don't want my eyelids to look like fish scales. I don't need to draw attention to my face in that way. So I don't know. I wish that was just a traditional champagne or kind of just a standard light gold. I would like this palette so much better if that was the case. For today, I ended up just reaching for my RMS Beauty highlighter and using that on my inner lid. Much better. So just keep that in mind. This shade's a little bit duochrome. If you're into that thing, you'll probably love it. A couple of lip products. I have got my Wet n Wild lip oil right here. Honestly, I've used this like 3 times. That's probably all I need to say. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not great. Then I have the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oil. This one I actually do really like. I like the purple. I was gonna say purple. The bluish sparkle in this one. It's very pretty on the lips. I actually have it, the center of my lip, topped with this one today. I wish it had a little bit more shine to it. I don't feel like this gives a ton of shine for something that has such beautiful sparkle in it. I would love the sparkle and the shine, but I still like this more than I anticipated that I would. However, something from e.l.f. I don't totally love. This is the Squeeze Me Lip Balm. You guys, these are so almost comically tiny. I know that's kind of the idea. I want to say these were like, maybe they were only $4, which if it was only $4, it's maybe kind of cute to travel with. It smells good. This one's vanilla frosting. It's just a basic lip balm that's super, super, super small. Lip products are already small. I kind of feel like I'm getting ripped off when something is like in a mini size. I'll probably end up giving this one to Charlie, who will probably eat it in one day because it does smell like vanilla frosting. Runs in the family. I have an update on the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. This was the first and only pink powder that I tried. I know that's all the rage right now. I feel like every company is continuing to come out with these pink setting powders. I don't know if this one's just not the best or if it's just the pink powder I just can't get behind. I initially thought I might like it, but I've used it a few more times since. Number one, I feel like it's not the smoothest powder I've ever tried. It feels almost a tiny bit gritty to me. I'm not an expert when it comes to powder, so maybe don't like put too much stock in my opinion on a powder. I also just feel like I did use on the center of my, on the side of my nose to set things down right there today. Again, it was fine. I just kind of feel like the pink tone to this makes my coloring look a little bit off. I think it's supposed to brighten. I don't know that it brightens. I just feel like it messes with the color of my foundations and concealers and just my skin tone underneath. I have a couple of tools. First off, an eyelash curler. This is a brand new eyelash curler from e.l.f. I had an old e.l.f. eyelash curler that I had around for like 7 years that finally broke. Picked this replacement up for about $3. And it is so good. I don't know why I ever would spend more than that because I just think this is such a great little tool. Then I have a brush. This is the Real Techniques 407. This is their multitask brush. I picked this up at a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's and I have not been able to find it ever since. I can't find it hardly anywhere online. I think I did find it at one point and I have not been able to find it ever since to link it for you guys. It's a really good brush. I initially bought this thinking it was time that I replaced my old blush brush, not realizing they still make this brush. It just looks, the handle now looks like this instead of this. They're both great. Honestly, I don't know that one is better than the other. The shape's obviously very different, but they're both very fluffy and soft and work great for blushes. I would just stick with this one though, it's easier to find. I also have the Morphe M164 right here. This is a powder brush. I use it as a highlighter brush, but it's also kind of multitasking for me. I love this style of brush. I also have this one that I've been using for years from Sydney Grace. They're basically identical, very similar to each other, and I love it. Perfect for highlighting, especially on days when I'm in a big hurry and I just want to put some foundation on, maybe a little bit of bronzer and just a little highlighter and mascara, and then run out the door. I'll basically use this for a highlighter and then I'll put it on the inner part of my lid and my brow bone and just kind of like get it all in one swoop. I use this sometimes to set down powder in strategic areas. It's great for that. This type of a brush I think is great. If you're someone that just wants like 3 brushes to do everything on your face, this is a shape that could do a lot. This right here, this giant sponge, which I think I got from Essence a while ago, I would never buy this again. It's so ridiculously large. It's very difficult to work with. It's difficult to wash. Honestly, it started kind of like getting cracks in it the first time I washed it. I just don't like this very much at all. I've heard some people say they love the larger sponges because they're quick. I just found it to be very cumbersome. We're almost there, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I have my Aqua Mystica from Sol de Janeiro. I don't know that I like this. I initially thought that I might, but there's something about the like after the first scent, you kind of get this lingering, it's almost like a little pungent. It almost smells a little bit like maple syrup gone wrong-ish. If you guys remember Cool Water, that scent from the 90s, that was like all the rage in the 90s. Don't think I like that one that much either. It kind of reminds me of that scent that I felt like I should like it kind of smelled good, but there was something about it that I just didn't love. This reminds me a lot of that. Kind of bummed. I wish I would have picked up one of their other scents. Maybe like the number 59, which I'm finding more difficult to get your hands on. I didn't see this in Sephora. By the way, I noticed in my trip to Sephora recently when I actually went in the store for the first time in like 6 months, I feel like the whole store is being taken over by different brands doing the hair and body fragrance mists. Am I wrong? Is this like a new thing? It made me second guess my obsession with these like Sol de Janeiro mists. Like, okay, wait a minute. What are they doing to us? As if the buying too much makeup was not enough. Found one more thing that I almost missed. This is the LA Colors Mosaic Bronzing Powder. This is in the shade Sunkissed Bronze. I don't know if they make more than this shade. If you happen to find this brand in your drugstore, you will see that their offerings are very limited. They don't have like a large shade selection or variety of products. So you kind of just get this one bronzer and it's way too light for anyone that doesn't have the fairest of skin tones. Kind of unfortunate because I actually kind of like the formula of this. If I was just a little bit more fair, I think I would love this, but it barely shows up on me. It's almost more of a setting powder for me or for anyone with more of like a light tan skin tone. But that is gonna do it for today's speed review, guys. I tried to be speedy. I don't know that I did a very good job. I ran through 2 clips of 20 minutes. I tried my best. Maybe I'll edit out I'm gonna keep this under 25 minutes that I said at the beginning of my video, or you all can just forgive me and accept that I'm a little chatty and inarticulate. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that you are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. If you want to watch a Robin Williams movie, side note, go watch Mrs. Doubtfire. Charlie has recently discovered Mrs. Doubtfire, and it is one of the greatest movies from the 90s. It is so, so good. My husband and my boys do not agree. They will not watch that movie. They think it's so stupid. Me and Charlie love it.